Our theme this month is Living as Compassionate Conduits. And today's talk title is, What is God Giving You? Well, what a difference a day makes, huh? What is God giving you? So God has already given us everything. It's our job to accept it and to awaken to it. Life is fully supporting us at all times, but we have to know that life is supporting us and it is ours for the taking. See, if it's true of God, it must be true of us, because you are a divine manifestation of God itself. It can be no other way. If you have a cherry pie and you take a slice out of it, the slice is still cherry pie. And you, my friends, are still cherry pie. So prayer is like a seed. It contains within the prayer the already answered demonstration, just as the oak tree is contained within the acorn. If you have an idea, the manifestation and the process of that idea is already contained within the universe. So what's your idea? What is more spiritual, a rose or $100 bill? They're both equally spiritual. God gives us both freely. Are you wrestling with one belief or another, that one is more or less than another? Well, that's on you. God doesn't play favorites. God just puts it all out there and walks away and says, yes, absolutely yes. So working in the absolute is an awakening. See, we live in a field of all opportunity. Everything is available to us, but we must take it in consciousness first. We must awaken to our truth and transcend any limiting beliefs that we may have had, possibly from our childhood or our upbringing or our teachers or our neighbors. This is not to say that they didn't have our best interest in mind, but sometimes we pick up a negative vibe around something that isn't the truth. We need to pay attention when we say that we can't do something. Oh, I can't do that. The universe always says yes, and the universe will show you how you can't do it. Maybe you want to change your can't to, I don't know how to do that yet. Or it has not been revealed to me yet. Because it will show you where the edges of your limitations are. So where are the edges of your limitation? Again, this isn't to call anybody out, it's to call myself out of, what do I believe and why? I'm here to help you open yourself to all possibilities. Where are you limiting the universe? You see, words become manifest. Thoughts become things. You become what you say. You become what you think about, because what you think about, you bring about. What words are you saying? Are you part of the challenge, or are you part of the solution? Building faith takes muscle, and we must sometimes retrain ourselves to flex those muscles. Sometimes we have to do different activities to work different muscles in our body. And sometimes we have to do different mind activities to change our beliefs. You can do this in a couple different ways. There's a basic level and there's an advanced level. The basic level is the level where we manifest the 3 Ps. I call it the three P's, the princes or princesses, the palaces, and the parking spaces. Maybe you just want to start with a parking spot. Maybe you want to drive into a parking structure and know that the perfect spot is there for you. Just knowing that it will be revealed to you and give it to the universe. So I'd like to use a video game analogy. This dates me a little bit, but let's think of the old Nintendo, the Super Mario Brothers. I don't know if any of you played it, but it was a fun game. It really trained us basic computer, how to click, it was the step above Pong, if that dates you. But I used to play at one level where I would get some of the coins and then I would run into a turtle and have to start all over from the beginning. I did that several times until I figured out when to press the right button to stay away from things so I could jump over it. The next time I played, I was better at it because I might get a little bit further, avoid the turtle, or maybe bump into another one I didn't know was coming. And then I was back to the beginning again, having to start all over. But after a while, we begin to master it. I had all the coins and I avoided all the pitfalls and I would make it to the next level. And you keep praying in our prayer work and it works the same way. We start to figure out how to pray in the right way. Now, there's no wrong way to pray. There is just different ways that bring about different results. And I found that when I was beseeching and bartering with the universe, I always owed the universe something. But when I changed my concept of the way I prayed, instead of praying, I want more money, I took the want out of it because it was explained to me that if I was praying for the want of money, that more bills were coming in. And that was my demonstration, that I was demonstrating how I wanted more money. So all these bills came in saying, oh, you want to want money? Well, here you go. When I realized that I could pray in a way that came from my demonstration, that I'm an abundant being in an abundant universe, and that everything was provided for me, my bills went down and my income went up. Now, it's a very subtle change in energy, but by praying and affirming and visualizing until we master, it's just like playing the computer game. We need to understand how it works, put the right data in to get the right data out. The advanced level is we view manifestation not as a process of getting things, but as expressing our truth, what is already there. We reveal what we already are. We give our light, and a way is given to us that is inexhaustible from that source that helps the entire world. So I'd like to take just a second and invite you to go on an imaging experience with me. And this is from a meditation by David Spangler. And it goes like this. So if you just want to take a second and close your eyes, maybe take a look out your window, or maybe a soft focus on something in the room. Let's go deeper. So I invite you to imagine yourself inside of a dark house. And inside that dark house, you're dressed in a swimsuit. Maybe you feel the cold and you wish for warmth. You wish for light. You step outside the door of your house and you're standing in the sunshine. You're out in nature and you begin to feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. As you look outside, you see your favorite lounge chair and you decide to lie down and sunbathe. And the warmth feels so good on your skin. You begin to feel the warmth and the light penetrating your very being. It feels so good. You're no longer cold. Now, in the distance, you see a tree near you. And you see how it is also sunbathing, taking in the rays of the sun, turning that sun into food and energy. It is just like you, a sunbather, absorbing the light and the warmth of the sun. Now you look towards the sun and you feel your being begin to expand and rise out of a sense of being one with the sun. You begin to meld into that sun because truly you are the sun. You are radiating out your light upon the trees and the plants and nature, shining your light into the solar panels that people convert into energy. People sitting and absorbing your rays. Feel what it's like to give out from an inexhaustible supply. Feel the difference of being the sun and being the sunbather. Feel the connection between the two. Now, bring yourself back to this moment and this time and this space, feeling your seat supporting you perfectly, and open your eyes when it's comfortable for you. So the basic level of that is like wanting the warmth of the sun and then taking the action to the next step into the light and accepting the rays of the sun. And the advanced level is we think of ourselves as the sun. Because truly, we are a divine emanation just like the sun is. We have that power. So I'm here to tell you that nothing is against you. It may feel like it at times, but nothing is truly against you. The universe is fully supporting you at all times. So I have a question. How would your life be different if you lived as nothing and no one was against you? What if you knew you could not fail in whatever you choose to be, to do, or to have? Here's an example. Someone cuts you off in traffic. What happens? You get annoyed. Maybe you have some choice words. Maybe the fickle finger of fate is an experience of that. Well, I believe the annoyance comes from the inconsiderate driver. But a deeper look into how our mind works reveals the emotional response of annoyance. And that rises from what I make the situation into. Would I have the same response if I knew that the driver was speeding to take his pregnant wife, who was in labor, to the hospital? It may seem like we're an innocent bystander and life just happens to us, but life actually happens through us. We create the viewpoint, which causes the reaction, and you are in charge of those reactions. We create the meaning and tie emotions to each experience. What if we were to shift our viewing point? What if I was the person or thing that helped that guy get to where he wanted to go with ease? by taking my foot off the gas pedal and maybe even waving them in. It's just a different perspective. We need to start responding with love. If we want to be responded to with love, we must respond ourselves with love. This is a quote from Robert Russell, and this is from Putting the Prosperity Ideas to Work. The most direct approach to prosperity is through the absolute. If it is true of God, it must be true in manifestation. God is all, in all. It is both desire and fulfillment, prayer and answer, idea and manifestation. It's all the same energy. So I would add to that that a successful practitioner treats from their demonstration, not to it. To your demonstration denotes separation. From your demonstration is wholeness and oneness. It's a very subtle energy shift, but when we can see it differently, our whole world can change. This is from David Spangler, Laws of Manifestation. We are not training you in manifestation. We are training you to recognize manifestation. There's quite a difference. We are not training you to be able to produce things. We're training you to realize the eternal process of production that is all about you, so you can do it because you are it. You are it. What you are looking for, you are looking with. That's Ernest Holmes. What you are looking for, you are looking with. So stop your searching and become more of a finder than a seeker. It's good to seek, but it's even better to find yourself. And the poet Tennyson wrote, "Closer is he than breathing, and nearer than hands and feet." Vivian May Williams wrote, "We cannot possess money until we perceive that the substance of our own form or identity is the same substance of our wealth, our abundance, of which money is the identity. If you believe you are spiritual and money is material, you separate yourself from it by accepting such a belief. But when you realize that money is a spiritual idea that stands in the same relationship to mind, God, and a rose, it does it visibly, expressing without anxious thoughts." So, in conclusion, working in the absolute is an awakening. We are all in the process of awakening. What are you awakening to? The only thing that each one of us suffers from is a lack of awareness. The only thing that may limit us is a thought of limitation. What words are you using? What words are you saying? How can you subtly change what you're thinking, which will change our minds? Can we be in the place where God does that? Are we willing to shift our viewpoint just subtly to become what we are looking for? Be the place where God shows up. And so it is. And now it's time for our prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Take a soft focus on something in your home or out the window, and let's take ourselves into our teaching and remember who we are. I know that there is a power. This power that guides the stars and causes the sun to shine. It grows the grass and leaves the trees. It's beating our heart right now. It's breathing our body. It is who and what we are. Each one of us is a divine emanation and unified with that field of all possibility. And as such, I speak a blessing and a prayer upon this moment, this experience, this day, and each person within the sound of my voice. I know that that power that has created the cosmos has created us and is the healing and the revealing of truth in every situation. I call it forth now. I invite God, Christ consciousness, Great Spirit into every situation, knowing that as we invite it in, we activate it, allowing it to guide us, to show us, to reveal its truth to us so that we may know the right direction to take, the right word.
I'm going to continue with Reverend Stephen's prayer. I believe his internet has an issue again. So I'm just going to know for each of us and for all those who are here and who aren't here, that you do know the right words. You do know the unity and the harmony and the oneness of the Spirit that is you, that is flowing through you always and forever. And that in this moment, in this time and space, abundance, prosperity, joy, peace, love, and harmony abound in your life and everyone else's. So I bless this time. I send blessings around the world, around our country, for great healing as we understand and reveal the wholeness that we each are as we recognize the Spirit within us that is the absolute. And I'm so grateful, and I just simply release this word into the law of mind, and so it is. And we'll see if Reverend Stephen can come back and join us now. We'll just see if he can make it. He had told me when he came on earlier that he was having a little bit of a thing with his internet and his computer. So we'll just keep working on it. So let's just do our prosperity and abundance affirmation until he gets back. Let me see, this is him on my cell phone. Okay. Yes, he's having issues. So he just told me bring it home. So by golly, we're going to bring it home. Okay. So let's do our, you know what I'd like to do first is speak a word that he was going to mention to everyone here today, that we are going to be encouraging everyone to give through the next several months. I know that he wanted people to hear it from the senior minister. There is a letter that will come out from him to you personally next week sometime, not this week, but the following week after the 15th. And so it's talking about abundance and the divine flow in our lives and encouraging everyone to give as much as they can through the next several months. Our expenses have run our revenue over the last several months. And so as I speak these words that Reverend Stephen would have spoken, I can say without hesitation that we are incredibly grateful and thankful for all of the support that has kept us going so far. And that divine flow and the abundance of the universe is ours, each and every one of us, as a spiritual community, as individuals, and collectively as we move through the world. So let's do this affirmation. I say yes to giving and receiving my abundance with joy. And let's do it one more time. I say yes to giving and receiving my abundance with joy. And so now, knowing that these gifts have been sent, received, and just are so incredibly generous in every way for the giver as well as the giver who then receives, for it is a law that as we give, we must receive. And I recall a Bible verse that says, go ahead, God said to some folks, go ahead, see if you can outgive me. That's my challenge to you. I can tell you we can never outgive God, and we can never give too much. And there is never a gift that is too small. So I'd like to bless each of these gifts, knowing that all of the gifts we receive, time, talent, and treasure from everyone in our spiritual family, that they go forth, and it's through the love of pure spirit that they come. And as they go forth, they bless everyone in the world. And so I rejoice in the abundance and the overflowing abundance of every being in this world, knowing that it is the true nature that must happen, that must be. And I just give thanks and let it be. And so it is.